And the fifth element of what I like about this tank is that it is free from the constraints of being perfectly scale accurate, because it isn't a real tank. This is a fantasy hybrid. Welcome back, tankers. In today's video we're taking a closer look at Heng Long's 1/16 scale Panther. This is commonly referred to in the hobby as a Pan-Tiger because it is in fact not a 100% scale model from World War II. It's actually an amalgam, the lower hull of a Tiger I and the upper hull / turret of a Panther. So sort of mashed together, call it a mashup, which is why most of us refer to this tank as a Pan-Tiger. Out of the box as an RTR, it's fully painted as we see here. Airsoft BBs, battery, radio, and these cosmetic accessory parts. Everything you need to get started other than 6AA batteries for the radio transmitter. I do like how these parts are pre-painted. Any modeler is going to want to apply a wash just to bring out a bit more detail. Before we get started, of course, we always want to do our 2-minute test drive, verify that the tank is functioning in all features. And once we're satisfied that it is, we can move ahead to installing these cosmetic accessory parts. This is all that is included in the box, and I do like how the manuals are clearly labeled. Great clear diagrams that identify where each of these parts are going to be located. Most of these we just press directly in, press fit, and some of the smaller parts you may want to use ABS solvent or super glue to help give them a better bond. As one of Heng Long's earlier models, a lot of the Pioneer equipment we see here is integrated as one simple piece, so that makes installation a lot easier as compared to, say, later tanks like the Panther G, the King Tiger, the Leopard 2A6, etc. Here we see in just a minute we can finish the entire left side of the upper hull. Cosmetic tracks, storage tube, etc. Moving to the other side, it's just as simple. One of the things that makes the Pan-Tiger probably good for newer tankers is it is so simple to go together. All told, you're looking at 15 to 20 minutes or so of time just to unclip and press fit these various parts. Now the upper turret, these hangers, initially we just press fit them, however, eventually I ended up attaching them with ABS solvent just to help them stay secure. Simple NG34, probably going to want to come back and paint that up a bit. Towing lugs are nice. And finally we move to the rear of the tank. You want to look at the diagram here to identify exactly where these parts go, and again just press fitting them into place. As far as decals, like all of Heng Long's 1/16 scale tanks, non-water slide vinyl adhesive peel and stick decals are included. Cross on this side was a little too large. They do provide 2 sizes. I like the smaller size, but again, it's up to you. Battery in. We can now verify function. Turn that smoker on. Now the TK6 series MFCB that controls the tank, very smooth, great proportional controls on all axes. So let's go outside, let's have some fun. As a fantasy tank, I do like the camo. It looks nice. Some of you out there may want to customize it further. I think the model's free for interpretation because, again, it doesn't replicate any specific tank from World War II. It's a bit of a mashup. Infrared battle system, very convenient, very simple to set up. Like all of TK6 series tanks from Heng Long, it also fires 6mm airsoft BBs. Good for target practice and good for infrared battling with other Heng Long equipped tanks. Independent suspension on each of these interleaf road wheels makes this tank a really great runner. So that's our quick run out on the Heng Long 1/16 scale Panther, what we again are calling the Pan-Tiger. As you saw, a little dusty out there, but we were able to just blow this out with an air compressor to try and get as much of the dust off of the tracks as possible. We do see some abrasion on the tracks. That's going to be normal when you're running on the pavement and on the roads as we were, especially if you choose to do these super spins in place. So that's normal sort of track wear. In normal use when you're on softer surfaces, say short grass, riverbeds, sand, etc., you should be all right. So what do I think about this tank? Let me give you a couple of things that I like about it and a few things you should be conscious of if it's not your cup of tank. Off the top, I do like how it runs. As an RC tank with its wider base borrowing from the Tiger 1, it runs really well. It has adjustable idlers, which is very nice and convenient to adjust your track tension. And in addition, out of the box, it has metal suspension arms there. So that's all for durability. This is the upgrade version that uses steel gears inside of its gearbox, not plastic and not the old generation zinc alloys. So I like having the peace of mind of steel being in the gearbox inside the tank. The second thing I really like is its simplicity. For a new tank owner who isn't expressly concerned about scale, which we'll get to in a minute, this is a good tank. It isn't something like a T90, which requires an hour or more of attaching your plastic parts. As you saw, this goes together in about 10 minutes. So this entire assembly is one piece, push, 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 and in 30 seconds, the left side of your tank is complete. So if you're the kind of person who wants to just tank and not model, this one may be worth considering. Third thing I really do like is the smoker. This unit is operating really well, and I like how the smoke comes out of 2 of the 4 stacks. Fourth is the paint job, and with that, I'd say the fifth element, which is its paint job, is a fantasy paint scheme, and the fifth element of what I like about this tank is that it is free from the constraints of being perfectly scale accurate, because it isn't a real tank. This is a fantasy hybrid of a what if tank if the lower of a Tiger 1 was mated with an early variant Panther A and sort of stretched and tweaked in different areas, and this is what you get. So for those out there who just want a well-running tank and actually prefer the creative license to repaint or weather or customize this tank cosmetically however your imagination may see fit, this is a good candidate. Now, a couple of the things that I didn't really like about this tank are, again, one, it is not a scale representation of any specific tank in service now or in the past. So from a historically accurate perspective, there isn't a point of reference because this tank didn't exist. So be mindful, we talked about that at the top of the video. The second thing isn't so much a negative, but more of a caution, in that interleaved road wheels, and this goes for this Pan Tiger, the Panther G, the King Tiger, the Yak Panther, and the Tiger 1. You just want to be conscious of these interwoven or interweaved road wheels. There's not a lot of gaps in between, not a lot of space in between them, and so there is a higher propensity of having pebbles or anything jam in there. So if you're running on, say, short grass, you should be all right. But if you're running on dry riverbeds or any areas that have sort of small pebbles that can fit in between these spaces, just double check. These are all free spinning wheels, the road wheels are, on all tanks, of course. So you're not going to have any binding in your motor or your drivetrain, but you don't want to see something get stuck there and possibly cause a break. So that's going to do it for me. I need to, forgot about this, we're still playing outside with this IR. This is very fun, as you saw in our quick demonstration, and very convenient. I like how it pops on and off so that we can return the tank to a tank state. Let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and criticize the usual. Let us know what you think about this specific tank. Is this your is what you're looking for? I'm probably going to end up painting it, I don't know, gunmetal and orange, something, something super fantasy. Are you more of a traditional tanker who's going to want, say, a Panther G that we've got back there, that is much more closer to scale, or do you love a tank like this just because it's cheap, it runs well, and you can get on the ground in a few short minutes? Let us know. Always happy to hear from you, and we'll see you in the next video.